Hi, this is Paula Johnston with Auburn News 20, and today I'm up in Colfax at the Rollins Lake Reservoir. Is it a reservoir that's here?
You know, I've heard there's a reservoir. We have not found it yet. We did take the kayak out this morning, and
Oh, really?
it's out there somewhere.
Anyhow, I was going through this field and I happened to notice a sign that says PUBS, and so I was very curious about that. And with me here now is Cynthia. What's it, Cynthia?
Cynthia Lee.
Cynthia Lee, and she is going to tell us all about what's going on here with the Placer Ultimate Brewing Society. So, Cynthia, tell us what's happening.
Indeed, we are the Placer's Ultimate Brewing Society. We are a group of home brewers from the area, and we've all come up here to get away from the heat, but also as a family come together and talk about our beers and be able to get up in nature and enjoy some brews and some sun and have a good time together. So we're up here at Rollins enjoying, and it's actually a pretty fun thing. We'd like to show you around.
And is this an annual event, or is it
this
just
is our first event. We're a brand new club, about a year old, and have a variety of brewers, myself being one of them, and a little something different from everybody, which is really great.
So if somebody wanted to join the brew club, they would just go to your website?
Absolutely, absolutely. We have from newbies on up through Grandmaster beer judges, which is really exciting. So there's something for everybody, which is great.
Yeah. And which areas do you cover?
We have, based out of Roseville, but we have people from Placerville, gosh, just about all the surrounding areas. Everybody's welcome. So there's a home for everyone, and they can join us anytime.
And do you brew beer yourself?
I do, actually, yes. I'm one of those people that likes to put a lot of interesting things in our beer. One of my favorites is a hibiscus passion fruit wheat.
Oh, that sounds really nice.
is
Coming from England, you know, I do like things in my beer too. I generally like lime juice or blackcurrant juice or something like that, but hibiscus, that sounds wonderful.
Very exotic and great in the heat.
Yeah. And do we get to taste some of that?
Absolutely, we do.
Oh, I landed in a good spot right here. Well, shall we go on in and see what else you've got going on?
Come right this way. Join us.
Thank you. So now we're in the beer tent.
We are, absolutely. We have an assortment of brewers and beers, which is very exciting. So we'll kind of give you an idea. One of the ones I was telling you about is a hibiscus wheat. This is an imperial, and it does have passion fruit.
What do you mean when you say an imperial?
Imperial means that it's a very higher alcohol beer, a little bit higher maltiness, and sweetness.
Oh, I like
so
sweetness.
It's a little bit different. You can really get the head on the hibiscus and the passion fruit in there.
Smells lovely. Now, I'm a wine drinker, and when you're a wine drinker, you know, you do the...
Absolutely.
And all that.
Absolutely.
Do you do
we
the
do
same
as
with
well.
beer?
Yes, we sure do.
Makes complete sense. So here we go. I'll give it the ultimate taste test.
Absolutely. Very nice.
Oh, that's really good.
Thank you.
You brew that?
Yes. And we have a variety of other types of beers. Some of them are a little bit more hoppy. This one is less hoppy. Hops was used originally as a preservative. So.
And is this an original? It's a recycled bottle.
It is a recycled bottle. We love these Grolsch tops.
They're wonderful bottles, aren't they? Yeah.
Those are great.
It's delicious. How do you make that?
You actually make a brew or a wort with grains, and you sift it through.
So what's wort? That's like the...
It's like your witch's brew.
Okay.
It's a tea, basically, made of grains.
Okay.
And we go ahead and strain that through, boil it down, add some yeast to it, and allow it to ferment. That's what gives it the alcohol. It does a conversion. And then you can carbonate it and chill it down, and it's a process. Some beers can be done in 4 to 6 weeks. Some of them take months.
Really? How long have you been doing this?
About 4 years.
Really?
Yes.
Wow, you're good.
Thank you.
Natural.
It's a learning process. There's some good things and some bad things that happen, and hopefully you learn from the bad ones and take on with the good ones.
So I see you've got a group of merry men around here.
We do. This is our group of brewers, and they also have a couple of beers that they would love to share with you as well.
Okay, well, thank you very much. I'm going to finish this one and then move on to the next
Sounds
one.
lovely.
I hate wasting things. Hi, so you're Rick.
I'm Rick.
Hi, Rick. I'm Paula.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you, too. And you're a brewmaster? Is that what you're called?
We're not brewmasters quite yet. So
what qualifies you as a brewmaster?
I believe you got to go to school
Oh, really?
to be certified. Yes.
School of Life or School of Hard Knocks?
Brewing.
School of special school.
Special school. take a lot of tests. You could become a brewmaster, I guess, without going to school if you get qualified enough to brew at a brewery.
Yeah. I would think a test would be, try this and how is it?
That'd be the easy way. That'd be nice.
That would work, huh?
Yeah.
So how long have you been brewing beer?
I've been about 4.5 years.
So same as
Same as
Cynthia.
Mhm.
Yeah. So you two are hooked up.
Yes, we're married.
Okay.
So we do it all the time.
Do you plan to start a business in this at all?
Not right now. No, it's just a hobby.
Just a hobby. And tell me what's happening here.
We're just having a great time all hanging out together as a brew club, and we've invited other brew clubs to come as well. So we're going to do campfire singing tonight, and we've just been hanging out all day enjoying the lake.
Getting
It's
some
been very
beer
nice.
in there to make to grease up the vocal cords.
Yes, lots of homebrew. So yeah, it's been a good time.
Well, thank you.
It's carbonated well, yes.
I'm having way too much fun here,
That's what we do here. We have fun.
but I'm supposed to be working.
We are working, right?
You're right, right.
Excellent, yeah.
Yep, the elbow's getting more and more tired as I work this hard. So what's your name?
My name is Jason Williamson. Everybody calls me J-Dub.
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 J-Dub. Okay, did I get the accent right and everything?
Do I have an accent?
No.
Oh, good.
So tell me about this beer.
This is a German-style Kolsch that I brewed some time ago. It should be a very light, refreshing beer, and Kolsch is traditionally brewed in Cologne, Germany, and I'm not sure you can even call it a true Kolsch unless it is. And so
Can you say that name slowly?
Kolsch,
K?
I think it's Kolsch. Is it Kolsch,
Kolsch,
guys? Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Kolsch, yeah.
And it means?
Good beer, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I agree with that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And how long have you been in this business?
I've been brewing for just over 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. My wife bought me one of those little Mr. beers, right? I've always been interested in brewing, and I've always loved to drink good beer. And so for Christmas or my birthday or something, one year she bought me this Mr. Beer. Well, it sat around, and I never used it or anything like that. And so we were cleaning the garage one day, and she found it. She's like, "You see, I bought you this, and you never did." And so I was like, "Okay, that's it." And so I went inside from cleaning the garage, and I brewed my first beer, and I've never looked back. And it's gone way far beyond the little Mr. Beer kit.
And is your wife glad she got it for you, or is she having second
I
thoughts?
don't know. You'd have to ask her.
Where is she?
Oh, she's actually here too. Somewhere.
Polishing the new brewing equipment?
Honey, I'm home. Yeah.
So this is an annual event, I hear, or it's hopefully going to be?
Yeah. This is an annual event for us, the first annual here for us this year. But it's been great being with this group of people. Being a brewer, you're kind of always looking for advice, and there's tons of books and there's tons of literature. But as you brew, you really need to talk to other people who are interested in the same thing. Mm-hmm. And so it's been great for me to be able to talk to people like Dave Long and Rick and these people who've been brewing longer than I have, and lean on their expertise. And in the process we've made some great friendships too. And so
That's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
That's a very, very good reason for brewing beer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, beer saved
As
the
if
world,
you need
right?
one.
Yeah, right.
As in, save water, drink beer.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they say beer saved the world. So
Yeah.
there it is.
Oh, it's a great thing.
Yeah. This is our good friend Dave Long right here.
Hi, Dave Long.
Hi, I am a BJCP judge.
What's that?
That's a beer judge certification. It's called Beer Judge Certification Program. So you
Okay.
can actually go through and get tested to be a judge in
Really?
beer. So I've gone through that program and I've taken a test. And
What kind of skills do you have to qualify as a BJCCP? Did I get it right?
Beer Judge Certification Program.
There you go.
You just need to be familiar with the styles of beer. Beer is brewed all across the world, so there's different styles of beer, and depending on the environment that the beer is brewed in, that's how those styles are developed. And so you need to be familiar with the styles of beer, okay? Because you're judging all the styles, from one time or another. And right now in that program, there's over 83 styles of beer.
Wow.
And they're very different, unique styles. So you need to be very familiar. And if you move into, say, Brewers Association, there's well over 100, it's like 140 different styles of beer.
Gosh, I would never have had any idea. I think I know maybe 3. Lager, pale ale, and dark beer.
Well,
What
there
else
you
is
go.
there?
Well, lager really isn't a style. It's how, well, it is a style, but alone it's not a style. There's many lagers and pilsners.
I
So,
see.
yeah,
I see.
yeah.
And so, if you were to make beer that was that the materials for were grown in this area, what style beer would be, a really good beer that you could grow here?
Well, I mean, you could probably move into American ales. Would be very good because the hops, as Mark was talking about earlier, the type of hops that grow here are they're very citrus. They call it sea hops. They got Cascade, Centennial, Chinook, Columbus. They have a characteristic that's they're bitter and they've got a kind of almost a grapefruit citrusy flavor to them. And so those type beers would do very well. As a matter of fact, you hear a lot about West Coast IPAs.
I have heard that term.
So those are the very hoppy, citrusy beers that you hear about. So those hops are actually, growing up in like Yakima Valley, up in Oregon and southern Washington.
So
that's a prime
They
area
like a
for
lot
them.
of moisture.
Not necessarily moisture. As a matter of fact, the areas that they're really growing are dry and acrid,
Oh, really?
believe it or not. But they like water. They need water to grow.
I see.
So, but a lot of sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then the hops. So I'd say probably the IPAs, American Pale Ales.
Okay. And do you brew beer yourself?
Oh yeah.
And what style do you make?
I try to tap into a lot of different styles. Right now, I brought up a Pale Ale, American Pale Ale, and a Belgian Golden Strong. And see, I'm a lazy type person. These guys all brought up bottles, and that's too much work, so I just brought up kegs.
Oh, you.
So instead
you're the
of
keg
cleaning, 40, 50 bottles, I get to clean 2.
Oh,
so.
that's smart. Yeah.
And this is really bad. My kegerator is right over there, just plugged in. This is really tough caffeine. So.
Is this the voice of experience?
Maybe so. It was kind of a last-minute decision to bring up the kegerator. I'm sure they would have brought up kegs too.
Yeah.
So.
Well, this is a fledgling sort of thing, and I imagine it's
Yeah.
going to grow to be quite a successful event.
I'm really hoping. I mean, the location is perfect up here
It's
for it.
absolutely
Yeah.
beautiful. I've never seen such a lovely spot.
It is. It's a great spot, and it kind of, in a way, it kind of grew out of. I was with Cynthia last year and Rick, and we were all up at the Northern California Homebrewers Festival, NCHF, and it's up in Dobbins, which
Oh,
is kind of, I guess it's east of Marysville, up in
Right,
the hills,
right. Yeah.
and it's basically 2,000 to 3,000 homebrewers. This converge and take over this campground.
Wow.
And it's just a great event. The clubs, there's a lot of other homebrew clubs like PUBS here, and they bring in and set up a display of their beers, and they actually serve their beers there and share it with the other homebrew.
I had
brewers.
no
Yeah.
idea that beer brewing was such a big thing.
Oh, it's huge. There's, I don't know the numbers and everything, but there's a huge number of homebrewers in the United States or across the world.
Oh, very
Yeah.
interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And it's just a stroke of luck that I happen to be here today. And I am just really impressed with this lovely breeze that's here.
Yeah.
Where I have been and where I'm going to is the Western States 100-mile endurance run. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, and that was today?
That's today. They're
Yeah.
running right
Oh,
now.
God, that's crazy. No.
I know where I would rather be.
and they just issued a hot temperature weather warning today, and
Yeah.
I'm going, I feel sorry for those runners.
I-
Well, I bet you they're going to want some of our beer at the end of that race.
I was going to say, you guys need to be down at Plaza High School and maybe emptying your kegerators.
Yeah, and actually it was reading a local magazine, and there's a lot of runners out there that they actually use brew or beer, homebrew or commercial beer, to rejuvenate. Because it is loaded with vitamins.
Well, that's right. That's a
Yeah.
good thing to bring up. So tell me about the nutritional components of beer.
I can't tell you everything about it because I
Well,
don't
tell me
know.
what you
but
know.
there's a lot of vitamin B
I'll
in
just
it.
have to have some
So-
vitamin B.
So yeah.
I
And
can
it's
taste
got-
the vitamin B.
The yeast, and there's other vitamins in there. I mean, they're natural ingredients. They've got basically you got your malts that go in there, and that's made from barley. Okay, so you got wheat.
Yeah.
Your hops is natural, and that has antiseptic qualities and the medicinal type qualities in it. The yeast is loaded, packed with vitamins.
Yeah. Well, it's
I'm no doctor,
delicious.
so-
It would be hard not to drink more. It's really
Yes,
tasty.
yes.
I don't drink very much beer nowadays anymore. I drink more wine, but I think I might change my ways.
Well, there's a bunch of different styles out there,
Yeah.
and they're all fantastic.
Well, thank you very
Oh, you're
much. I
welcome.
really appreciate the education. So now we have 2 different beers to taste, and are these your beers?
These are Dave Long's beers. These are
Aha.
the beers that were in the kegs.
Okay, but you're going to talk about them. You're going to tell me about them.
I'm one of the newest members here, but I can tell you, I just brewed a Belgian beer, and I'm learning quite a bit about them. But
Okay, well, tell me about a Belgian beer. What's its characteristics? This is a test to see if you can pass the PGCB, whatever it was.
no, for the true details, you need to talk to a person like Dave. But I do know that it is primarily the yeast that makes this a Belgian. You use Belgian yeasts. The focus is on maltiness, not on hoppiness, so you're not going to get the hoppiness that you get with the IPAs and the pale ales, the Pacific kind of beers.
Oh, I like that.
You're going to get a little bit of sweetness.
Must have a sweet tooth.
You get a lot of alcohol.
Oh.
This is a Belgian strong, so 8,
Better save
9,
that to when I'm near
10%.
the car.
Yeah. And actually, Dave helped me brew a Belgian blonde, which is a kinder, gentler version of this Belgian strong. It's about half the alcohol. It uses half the amount of grain, but it was in that process that he started me down the slippery slope of brewing.
Oh,
Because I
that's
used
how
to
it
I used to
happened.
brew about 10 years ago, and then I stopped, and then you brew once or twice, and it's like, oh, this is good. I like this. This is fun. And then you have to start buying pieces of equipment, and you
Yeah.
buy one piece, and then pretty soon you have everything you need to actually brew on your own, and then you need to learn from all the people that have been doing it for a while.
It sounds like a really fun pastime, a fun way to spend your spare time.
It is. And it's a lot of fun, and in the end, you wind up with beer. What
Can't
could be
beat that.
better?
Yeah, really. That's a very great bonus at the end. And this one is a...
That's a pale ale, so now that's going to have more of the hoppiness. You're going to taste the hops a lot stronger.
That's delicious too.
It's different. It's drier. It's not as sweet.
They're both really delicious, but they're both very different.
And I think that's one of the things that makes beer interesting is the fact that there are so many different kinds, and you don't appreciate how distinct they are. It's like wine. You say, well, you got red and you got white. No. There's a lot of,
Nuances in
nuances.
And I wonder if different people taste different things, because Dave, am I supposed to get any banana flavor in this one?
Actually, one of the things that are happening now is food pairing.
Oh, food
Because
pairing. That's-
forever wine and food have been paired. Okay, but now a lot of gourmet chefs are realizing that the complexity of beer, there's so many different flavors in it, that they're really finding that beer pairs wonderfully with different styles of food. So that's something that's that's up
That's
and coming
new,
that you're
yeah.
going to
It's
hear
a new
more
idea.
of. Yeah, as a matter of fact, we have a nationally ranked judge within our group that actually does that as part of his business. He goes out and pairs food with different styles of beer.
I might have to come back.
Yeah. I have yet to go to one of Big Mike's, dinners, but I've had some sampling of different type cheeses and things that we've put together with beer, and it's just, that's wonderful.
This is just amazing. I just
Yes.
can't believe I got this lucky to bump into you
Yeah.
guys here today when I should have been out sweating on the trail somewhere. This is so much more fun.
I've got a barley wine, which is a type of really very strong beer.
And what would you
Very
cook with
sweet.
that? Or what would you cook in
I
it?
actually made I'm just blanking. It was a prime rib basting, and but it wasn't when you put marinade. That's it. So I actually marinated barley wine and do this. You made a marinade out of barley wine and put this prime rib.
What else would go in the marinade? other than the barley
What else
wine?
does it need? I mean, it's got everything. So no, but it's been a long time, so I've only done it once or twice, but it's wonderful. I've made a brown ale gumbo.
Oh.
Made, and that part of the roux was actually the brown ale. And there's some other dishes I've made, but it's leaving me right now.
Well,
But
this is just wonderful. It opens up so many possibilities, and this is a whole new field of interest that I've never heard of it before, so it's really wonderful to learn about it. So Jeff, what have you got here?
Well, you were talking to Dave Long about food and beer pairing, and this happens to be an article in the latest Hops to Table magazine.
What's this? Where'd you get this?
It's actually a free publication that's available in places where you buy beer
Where you get
supplies
beer.
and
Okay. Yeah, that makes
buy beer.
sense.
But as far as the food and beer pairing, this is an article by Mike Moore, and it talked about how he selected the beers to have with his, chicken fennel and tomato bruschetta crostini. Why would you pick a specific beer to have with that? And he describes his reasoning behind the characteristics of the beer that he selected and the characteristics of the food and why they go together.
Is there a short example that you could give us?
Well, it says, so for the one I just talked about, the crostini, it says, think of the two main food items to match here, the fennel and the tomato. And then he discusses how the fennel is a savory spice and it goes with certain kinds of hops, and that the tomato is meaty and has a substance to it that speaks to a malt. And he describes the kind of hop that he selected and the kind of malt that he selected and the beer that contains those.
So it's almost like a science, just as viticulture and food and wine pairing.
Exactly. There's a logic to it.
Yeah.
That you choose what the characteristics of the food are and what the characteristics of the beer should be that go with it.
This really brings more sophistication to beer than I think most people would expect.
Well, people have been doing food and wine pairing
Yeah.
forever.
Yeah.
And this is really no different. It's
Right.
just that it's using the characteristics of a beer, which are primarily the malt and the hops,
Yeah.
to go with the characteristics of the food.
Well, cheers to that.
Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, and it's been such a wonderful event. Thank you for having us here. I am having more fun than I was 10 minutes ago because I've had a few more beers. This is really wonderful. I hope that I'll be able to come out here again.
Please join us.
So you're going to be doing this some more?
Yes, we will definitely have an annual event up here, which will be great. Hopefully it'll grow and evolve into a really wonderful thing. If people are interested in learning to brew, they can definitely get a hold of us at plasterbrewers.org. We do meet at the Owl Club in Old Roseville.
Which club?
The Owl Club. It's
Oh,
a
Owl
historical building in Old Roseville. And they have graciously allowed us to come up and have our meetings there the third Thursday of every month.
Okay.
So if you're interested about learning how beer is made and what to do, they feel free to look us up online or come to visit us in person. And you're welcome back anytime.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers.